Hi everybody, Mitch Albom here, and this is your catch-up on Chapter 4 of Human Touch, a story that I've been writing every week, free of charge, to help raise money for my beloved city here in Detroit as we fight COVID-19. So if you have not read Chapter 4 yet, and now we're about to come out with Chapter 5, and you just want a quick catch-up, allow me to catch you up within 2 minutes. All right, ready? Here we go. I've put some notes over to the side so I can check them. All right. So, Buck, who as we know was thrown out of the house by his grandfather, has now taken up with a couple of militia-like guys, and he's hanging out with them, and they're talking about making a statement and maybe putting some Chinese people in their place, and they want to search for some guns. Meanwhile, Sam, as we know, who is Chinese American, is starting to feel better. He's had the virus, starts to feel better, and says to his wife, Cindy, you know, I really appreciated it last night when you got into bed and hugged me, but you don't know if I wasn't contagious, you shouldn't have done that. And Cindy says to him, I didn't do it, you must have been dreaming. Of course, we know, if you read from the week before, that it was actually little Moses who snuck into the house and gave Sam a hug while he was sick, and suddenly Sam feels better. So something mysterious about little Moses's healing powers. Keep that in mind. Meanwhile, Pastor Winston, who we know held a church service, despite the fact that there was a new ordinance, a new law in the state not allowing that, now goes and turns himself into the police, and he is charged with several violations which are going to cost him money and might end up putting him in jail. However, he still remains defiant that he did the right thing, because the Lord will take care of everybody if we listen to the Lord. That's his philosophy. Meanwhile, Greg, the surgeon, is working diligently in the hospital, long hours, goes in to see his mother-in-law. Unfortunately, she's getting worse and worse, Amy's mother, and there's very little that he can do to help her. She's on a ventilator, and the mass hysteria that keeps going on in the hospital just leaves him dazed and confused. Meanwhile, little Moses, we mentioned him, well, he has another dream. And this time in this dream, he once again is in the clouds, and the strange Haitian man is there as well, and he talks to him a little bit. And when he wakes up from the dream, little Moses notices that one of his fingers is cut, and there's a drop of blood on his finger. Finally, towards the end of the chapter, the neighborhood decides to take a walk together. You remember that they always love to gather in everybody's homes and eat a lot of food, but that now is a victim of the virus. So Amy gets the idea to get everybody together, and they'll take a walk, and everybody takes their respective corner, and they start to walk with safe distance between them. And during the walk, a lot of things come out that have been going on, including Cindy Lee, who confronts everybody and says, look, there was a sign on my lawn that said, Chinese virus lives here, stay away. Who did it? And nobody in the group fesses up to anything, and they're all upset, and they can't believe it happened. And she decides, you know what, I'm not even gonna keep walking with you, I'm going home. And while the group continues to walk on, distraught by what just happened, Rose Baby steps up to Greg and gets him alone for a moment and hands him a vial of blood. And he says, what is that? And she says, this is from little Moses. If you want to save your mother, you should use this. Take it. And that's a very key moment. And meanwhile, a little coda just at the end, while they're out for the walk, Buck is leading his militia friends to break into the cider mill, which his grandfather owns, and they open up downstairs in a basement a gun locker and steal the guns. And that's where we end chapter 4. So now you can dive into chapter 5 with all of that on your plate. Once again, I thank you for helping us with Human Touch and humantouchstory.com, which is an effort of me just donating a book, a novella of sorts, for free, so that we can raise money to help people here in the city of Detroit. And we have done some amazing things with the funds that you've given us so far. We have actually opened a testing center. What could be more important than that? The first independent testing center in the city of Detroit, and we opened it thanks to your funding, and we've tested hundreds of people already, and not only is it open for mobile testing where people can drive in and get the test, but people can walk in as well And that's critical in the city of Detroit because there are many people who can't afford cars and they have not been getting tested. So you are helping us right on the front lines by running and maintaining this testing center and literally saving people's lives and letting them know if they have COVID-19. That's just one of many efforts that we've done with senior citizens, with children, with quarantine centers for homeless people, with first responders, with food. But this testing center we're so proud of and couldn't have done it without the Human Touch audience. So thank you for following Human Touch, humantouchstory.com. This is chapter 5 that will be up as of this Friday, and there's 3 more chapters to go. So I'm starting to figure out how this thing is going to end. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm getting there. So we're all coming to a crescendo together, and hopefully together we'll be able to continue to do great things. Thank you for your support. humantouchstory.com. Stay safe.